the other fasters moved to join. I was a college professor in the U.S. until I quit my day job a year ago to do what I felt was most important. My experience of the fast so far, getting over the notion of hunger and the fact that I have to pass by other people eating, that was pretty quick. The dreams about food, that passed. I also have a greater degree of clarity, although my stress level is more obvious, and I can only single thread, I can't multi-thread, as you say. Only can do one thing at a time. My reasons for fasting are similar. I'm fasting as an atonement. I feel I'm atoning for the American dream, which is the world's nightmare. I'm fasting to make a statement, and in fact, I'm fasting to make many statements, because I know that the longer I go without food, while my physical energy goes down, the loudness of my voice will increase. Most of humanity is aware that there's a problem, despite the attempts of many to obscure the truth. But most of humanity is not aware how serious the problem is, how close to the point of no return we may be. Earlier this summer, I had an epiphany. And my epiphany was that while there was a very clear physical description, that in fact the root cause of the problem we're in is the spiritual cause. Spiritual not so much in the sense of religious, but spiritual in the sense of non-material, ethical, moral, all the good qualities that human beings have. You see, our dominant global socioeconomic system is one which renders all of the important things about being human as externalities. If you can't cut it, chop it, polish it, and sell it, it has no value. In fact, we have to say ethical values to give a notion of other than monetary value. This is one of the sources of the problem. Now, as individual humans, we have morals and ethics and a conscience, despite sometimes being suppressed or impaired in individuals. But we have created something called corporations. Corporations, which are fictitious persons. And these corporations arguably rule the physical world. They are not inherently governed by morals, ethics, and conscience, but rather by the motive for profit. I regard this as a formula for disaster. As I said, the problem is far worse than most people know. In order to survive, we must globally become aware very quickly. My hope came in a personal vision that inspired a project I'm working on called the Interfaith Declaration on Climate Change, bringing together spiritual leaders and scientists on the same platform, saying the same urgent truth. Spirit and science aren't often thought of as being in agreement. And so we concentrate on having religious leaders, meditative leaders, and scientists together saying the same thing. My conviction is that despite the dire situation we're in, if we're able to change what we do quickly enough, we may still have time to avert runaway climate change, which is humanity's worst nightmare. This will require a shift of consciousness on a massive scale. It is still possible, however. Living with a broken paradigm, I can only say that the time for a paradigm shift has arrived. But when the critical point comes, the paradigm can shift very, very quickly. That's why I'm here, and that's why I'm fasting.